That was great. I mean, it goes back to what Terry said in the beginning. When we started, there wasn't a lot of information out there. It was a different time. And at the time, I got my jiu-jitsu and judo black belt like in 2000 or 2001. I had been training already for 15 years, and it was grueling work. It was hours and hours every day. I would be in the mat from like 5 o'clock and just run through. And it's funny, is like everybody always calls me like a judo guy, but I probably spent more time doing self-defense with my instructor, like jiu-jitsu, than people realize. But back then, it wasn't as much that it wasn't distinguished. There was no delineation. And we would have, like, our instructor didn't really care to affiliate. Like, we had Brazilians coming through, but we would tap their students. Like Brazilian royalty would come through with brown belts and purple belts, and I mean, you remember Gus? You remember Gus? We had purple belts tapping. I don't want to say which Brazilians, brown belts, but we would look at that, and our instructor would look at that, and he's like, well, we have 50 guys in a room. Why am I going to send money to Brazil and join an association? And for years we held out because, listen, we're doing our own thing, and that's how it was back then. But the point is that after 15 years, I thought that was it, really. Like I got the only black belt my instructor gave out in 17 years, and I felt good. And I had no idea how much more I still had to learn and how much more I had to grow in terms of jiu-jitsu, but also as a person. So now the landscape is different. Obviously, there's the internet, and it's a lot easier to pick up information for a lot of people. But nothing can replace an instructor that provides an environment and a lesson plan. So, I mean, first, I have to thank Carlos for I was gonna be good, you got me, man. I gotta thank Carlos for building, you know, a legacy that we can all be very proud of in terms of MMA and Jiu-Jitsu, and in some small part in different stages for all of us, at least share in that, depending on how long you've been with me in the club. And I very much, and listen, we can talk for hours about training growing up, but you said it well, and, you know, perfect. And I really have to thank Terry from the bottom of my heart, because
IBJJF, black belt, don't cry.
I know, God, there's someone let in a cat, so I don't know, man. But listen, like he had opportunity to give me a black belt based on our friendship and based on what I'd done in the past, but he managed to squeeze out of me, you know, the last few drops of blood, sweat, and tears. And it was, you know, it was him that was really able to, like, get me to work through injuries that weren't going away, and technical frustrations that felt impossible, you know, through all the different stages. And it was really him that was able to get me to open my mind some more at my old age and really fall in love with the modernized version of jiu-jitsu. So I have to thank Terry for that.
My pleasure.
I know everybody here struggles, especially with injuries and frustration. Hey, one of my old students. We all struggle with different frustrations with injuries and motivation over the years, but I can say that after 30 years, the juice is worth the squeeze. I've seen, you know, the thing with jiu-jitsu is it takes away time and comfort, but it leaves in its place patience and humility. I've seen, you know, Jesus, these cats. I just pictured Terry kicking one of them. Fine. I've seen, you know, what it does over the years. I've seen guys come out of long-term relationships without knowing what to do with themselves, a shell of their former selves, and be welcomed into a brotherhood and community and come back with light and life in their lives. I've seen guys with no direction, wandering, find a path. I've seen guys that are anxious, manage to find a breath and calm down. I've seen guys that are overly aggressive, manage to take a moment to think before they speak and react. So there's a list of things. There's the people on the weekend that have to make healthy choices in order to survive an average Monday night in a regular class, whether it's here or whether it's in Newmarket. And I can say that I've seen these people, but after 30 years, I can also say that I've been those people. You know, it's just one of those things over time. You know, people, my friends don't understand what we do. Just the same way, I'm sure your friends don't understand what you do. But my friends don't understand, for example, like how much I love food or why I'm passionate about some of the things I'm passionate about. And they don't understand what it's like to fight for an inch of breathing room on your chest. So that, you know, you're not the guy that taps from someone else's hole, you know. Or fight for like that 1 second where the lactic acid is building in your forearms and it's like, should I resist this choke or let the blood cut off to my brain and go to sleep? They don't understand what it's like, or like that's an average day for us. So I don't expect them to understand, and I know that people always say jiu-jitsu is for everybody, but I don't think it is for everybody. I don't. I think that we have a tribe that has exclusivity at the end of the day. And I want to thank my students over the years for inspiring me and pushing me to push myself and do better. And a lot of my training partners as well. Some of them are here, some of them are here, some of them are still in the GTA. But you're all my brothers and I share this with you. Thank you.